So the question is, what supplements do chickens need? For my chickens, I use food grade diatomaceous earth, poultry grit, as well as crushed oyster shells. The poultry grit, I give my chickens free choice. I have it out in the coop, free choice feeding at all times for them. This will help them to digest their food. If they're out free ranging, you'll see that they'll be finding their own little bits of grit, but especially if they are in a coop where they have less access to finding grit, it's always good to have this on hand, supplementing them free choice with it. The same goes for the oyster shells. Crushed oyster shells helps to give them the calcium that your chickens need. Your laying hens need calcium to create those hard shells on their eggs. So by providing them with free choice oyster shells, they are able to get the calcium that they need. It's really important to feed your chicken a poultry feed that is balanced, and so they will get their calcium from their poultry feed, but having additional crushed oyster shells on the side in case they want extra calcium. If they need it, it's available to them. I don't find that they eat a lot of the oyster shells, but I do have peace of mind knowing that they have that as a free choice option in case they do need that extra supplement. Let me show you what their eggs look like when they get enough calcium in their diet. Come here. Having enough calcium in their diet will provide you with nice hard shelled eggs. So it's really important that they're able to create these hard shells so that way the eggshells are not brittle and breaking on their way out of their vent. Calcium is really important to the egg laying process, so make sure you have that available at all times for your laying hens. The last but not least supplement that I use for my chickens is Diatomaceous Earth. Diatomaceous earth is what I use for a dewormer for my chickens. If your chickens have parasites, you're gonna see a lot of feces on your chicken eggs. So you want to see your chicken eggs coming out nice and clean. When you find them in the nesting box, they should be nice and clean. If you're noticing feces on your eggs, then you should consider deworming your chickens. Chickens can get parasites, and there are many different dewormers on the market that you could get. I personally like to go the organic, all natural route as much as possible. I personally have had really good success using Diatomaceous Earth as the only thing that I use for deworming for my chickens. Let me show you how I do. I use a measuring cup, a quarter of a cup of food grade Diatomaceous Earth per 25 pounds of chicken feed. My treadle feeder that I use to feed my chickens holds 25 pounds of feed, so I just take my scoop, dump it over, and then I use my hands to mix it up, and that way it gets all mixed in, so as the chickens are eating, they're getting small amounts of Diatomaceous Earth in their feed. I buy the 50-pound bags of poultry feed, and so I will use a quarter of a scoop for half the bag in the first round with the treadle feeder, and then another quarter cup in the second half of the bag, for a total of a half a cup per 50-pound bag. Mix it in really well. The dust of the Diatomaceous Earth can be a bit harsh on your lungs as well as the chicken lungs, so it's important that your chickens are outside of the coop while you do this. It's recommended to wear a mask when working with Diatomaceous Earth. So a 50-pound bag of chicken feed lasts my flock a month, and so I'm deworming them for 1 month. I repeat this process every 3 months, so that way they are getting dewormed for 1 month in each season. I use organic food grade Diatomaceous Earth. My chickens don't seem to even notice the Diatomaceous Earth when I add it to their food. It's mixed right in. They just eat their food like they normally would. So now you know. 3 supplements for your chickens: Diatomaceous Earth, poultry grit, and crushed oyster shells. Those 3 supplements, along with a balanced poultry feed, should keep your chickens nice and healthy for a long time. And just so you know, Diatomaceous earth can also be used for external parasites as well. So I do have a video about how I use this to make a dust bath for my chickens. I'll link that video below. You should check it out. And if you haven't started your farm yet, what are you waiting for? Get your farm on.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want a farm? A wicked awesome farm? Watch this channel to learn what to do. We love to farm and we'll show